Alright, in the top left hand side, we've got Saykoya playing as Edgy Mercia, and this is a 30 seconds blitz match here, so both players, they're really putting themselves on the line for game 3 in this blitz showmatch series. And on the bottom right hand side, we've got Stargen playing as Greenfinger, who I actually think is going to be pretty good on this map, but we'll see how this plays out. And one of the big differences we see coming out already is this very early merfolk. Oh wow. Just no merfolk whatsoever on the side of Saykoya, but Stargen gets that early merfolk. They're just gonna kind of do all this puddle hopping. And now Saykoya has to be very defensive because, you know, this merfolk can run forward and hit a bunch of these tiles. And this is knife fight, so knife fight is an interesting map, we'll put it that way. Actually, he double barracks build skip just to get the merfolk out in time. Stargen goes for the command to heal, gets the capture on the tower. And we're going to see this merfolk moves to a defensive position, interesting. Could have moved up and gone for the capture actually, but decides not to. And something to keep in mind is that this merfolk, if it hits this puddle here from the beach tiles, it actually loses because river tiles, you know, despite not looking great, are a crit condition for the merfolk that's in them. But it's not a crit condition when attacking. The beach is not a great place to be for the merfolk. Let's take a look at here. Economy wise, they're pretty even actually. And now comes the players have to really think about, like, what are they going to do next. Okay, we see the regular merfolk hit come out. Fair enough. Another merfolk comes out defensively. And, you know, they may look vulnerable, but if you're going to attack into them with your commander, you're going to die. You're going to eat potentially like merfolk crit plus commander, and you're on a beach. There's lots of sword buys coming out. Saykoya going for that nice juicy crit over on that village. Gets the hit follow up, gets the capture. Aggressive plays coming in here. But I believe this merfolk's actually open now to being hit by a sword. Like, you get this sword hit from above, one of these sword hits from below. More follow up afterwards, and all of a sudden you're not looking so good. And much like the last game, they're playing a kind of more passive game, not really engaging with each other directly yet. But that could change. It could be an explosive turn, and here we go. Swords come in, get that kill. First sword hit comes in, second goes for this merfolk. It's big damage coming in here. And all of a sudden, you can start to see more aggression coming out. Big hit on this village. Not going to kill it, but it's going to weaken up a bunch. More merfolk coming out. And ooh, misses the buy, misses that turn move. Alright, what do we got here? Regular hit. Ooh, Mercia has grooves now. That is a big deal. And is there a good position to hit this from? Actually, it could come up from above and get the kill there. I see that one walk back. Are we actually going to see anything try and finish these off? No, not for the moment. Oh, Big hit comes in. And now we're going to see a lot of dogs coming out. Greenfinger gets the kill. Nice sword crit there. That's the follow-up. Stargen missed buys, so that's a rough one. But Stargen set up this lobby and decided to make it a 30-second timer. So everything that happens is their responsibility. And yeah, we've got a knight coming out. Something has to deal with this massive wave of dogs. Alright, good crit coming in there as well. Nice, a little bit of income. And we're actually, I think, back to a, yeah, pretty even game. It does suck that Stargen missed 2 buys though on their turn, but such is the life of playing Blitz. Alright, we got the big heal. 2 merfolk getting healed for a lot, not to full. Ooh. Big sword crit comes in on a merfolk. Big dog roll up as well. I don't know how I feel about that, because the sword can kind of just wrap around. Yep, we're going to see a sword crit come in here. Greenfinger has groove now. Ooh, doesn't quite get the kill. But I mean, a merfolk could actually walk forwards and do a bunch of damage here. Right? Knocks this village down. Gets another heal. I mean, you got to play fast, Stargen. You got to keep moving. Ooh, another hit on a merfolk. Gets another village capture. Stargen looking pretty good, but needs to get the buys. Come on, you can do it. Alright, dog comes out. Yeah, this 30-second timer is really rough, and actually I think Stargen kind of came close to losing. Oh. Flagstone tile, so that doesn't kill. That's a bit unfortunate. And I feel like these players are somewhat regretting playing on a 30-second timer as the unit count continues to climb a bunch. They're fighting, but stuff isn't quite dying quickly enough. And both of them are kind of being very respectful and trying to keep stuff alive and doing things in the wrong order, actually. Like, that merfolk should have absolutely hit the first. 10% could have been saved on that sword. Golem comes out. And that golem is going to do a lot of work here. Oh, but these merfolk are also going to do a ton of work. Goes into melee with that. Wild growth. And just sets up a big defensive line. And we might even see something like, you know, you build a thief because you can at this point. And go for like a steal, which is very, very free if you can keep it alive. Decides not to though. Alright, what can Saykoya do against such overwhelming forces of vines? Alright. We got a merfolk regular hit, another merfolk regular hit hitting this knight in a river. Not very often you get to see something like that. And just a sword hit as well. But that's a lot of doing things with units that's not getting kills. And Saykoya just has to be really defensive here. Just so many vines. And I am just seriously wondering, like, you know, do you go for the thief play at this point? Your opponent's barreling down on you with a golem on their side, so you kind of just want to get like a big economy play if you can. But I guess you build your own golem, that also works. Alright, what's next? Gets the kill with Greenfinger, gets this capture on this village. Gonna start slowly whittling down these villages. Alright, move some vines, move some merfolk. They do so little damage. You should forget these things, like. Oh, it's rough. But yeah, they're keeping to this 30-second timer and it's really causing both of them to struggle. Right, so Saykoya gets a single vine kill. Second unit goes down. And I guess the play for Mercia here is you want to just kind of build up the golem count and keep them rolling with Mercia. Because it's not going to be very easy for Greenfinger to kill these golems. That said, this golem is in range of a merfolk that can crit it, so not really the best position for that to be in, because I think merfolk is going to hit it really hard if it does go for it. Alright, moves the find into position. Double. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Greenfinger's going to come in, do a lot of damage of his own. Getting close to getting more vines as well. And yeah, this golem gonna have a bit of a task trying to break this vine. And oh, the archer in range of the knight there. Dog gets a hit on a merfolk. Stargen continuing to put lots of pressure on here. But you know, we got a Mercia with Groove, we've got 2 golems. They're still alive. If this golem can continue to still be alive, it can do a lot of damage. And the knight goes down. This is worth it, I think. Like, even though like losing the knight for the archer, like, I think that's worth it. Alright, we got the big heal. Get a couple merfolk back up to full health. Gets this golem back in a nice position. That said, it will just eat more merfolk crits if it stays there. Ooh, no, but it's not going to. It's gonna find a good place to move. Alright, Stargen, what are you gonna do now? I mean, Stargen's up on economy. Thief comes out, and this is the play. As the Mandalorian would say. Gets another nice juicy kill with Greenfinger there. And Stargen's just gonna kind of play more conservatively this turn. I think they recognize that they've cleared enough space over on this bottom where they can... Oh wow, they're actually going to be aggressive here with their own golem. It's a pretty risky play. There are a bunch of merfolk that could be hitting that golem, softening it up. Mage heal is also on the table as well. And that golem could actually wrap around. Yeah, merfolk going to come in. Mage heal also going to come in. What are we going to see here? Vine gets cleared. Golem's just going to kind of sit up on this nice safe square here. It's like, alright, you got to buy your units. You got 4 seconds left. Oh, it doesn't go for it. Might even just be saving to build another golem. I'm just trying to go for like a big Mercia golem force. Alright, goods. Sword crit there. I think this sword actually will finish this off if it decides to go for it. Oh, doesn't quite. But that thief steal, you know, it's pretty safe. It can also return basically immediately. More wild growth coming in. Nice wall coming in as well. Stargen just gonna walk back, heal up their golem. Get some mage behind these. And this is actually turning out into a longer game. Like, both players, they're putting a ton of pressure on. There's a lot of trading going on as far as blows go. Ooh. It's a hit on that thief. But there's no big follow-up here. And that thief is actually going to be able to just walk back and deposit next turn. Oh, and you can just feel like the frustration from Saykoya. Just absolutely wants to just destroy this thief, but can't. And these vines are just being very annoying as well. Like, golems can't even one-shot them. Even when they're on a beach tile, like, the golem can't one-shot it. Ooh, big crit coming in from that merfolk. Does a lot of damage. Oh, goes for the suicide. We're going to see a merfolk. And then Greenfinger is going to walk onto a beach tile. Wow, actually just going to go very aggressive with these golems. We're going to see this deposit? Yep. I mean, the deposit animation is actually really long. Stargen was talking about that earlier. And then we're going to see buys. You got to buy like a golem. Yep. Golem comes out. They're very time efficient units. And Saykoya just trying to hang on in here. Are they actually going to be able to get the lethal? No, there's no lethal here, so I'm just going to try and clean up as much as they can. Big Mage Hill comes in. Ooh, gets a big hit. Takes a crit on the counter. Ooh, that dog takes a lot of damage. Now the question of what next. Big Mage. Ooh, that's 40% on that Golem. Oh, that's so scary. Alright. Manages to take out the enemy Golem. Takes a ton of damage for it though. But Greenfinger's just going to keep putting pressure on. And I think Stargen has got Saykoya on the ropes at this point. Not a huge amount else they can do here. Another Thief Steel comes in. Oh, the mage and the sword are actually going to be able to finish off this archer, or at least get a hit in. Oh, but decides not to. I think they just ran out of time. Oh, Thief goes down. But it did its job, actually. Stealing this village is just denying so much economy over time. And, like, Saykoya is so low right now. And, like, you're forcing the archer to have to, like, capture a village when it really just wants to be fighting. Big dog crit, but eats a ton of counter attack damage as well. Like, these golems are putting in so much work. 21% is a very annoying percent to have your golem at, but I don't think Stargen cares. He's got 3 golems. He's on top of his opponent's strongholds. Greenfinger almost has Groove again. Big Mage Heal comes in. Greenfinger's just going to move to a very aggressive position, but he can only be hit on one side, so I think he's okay with that. And, like, he can just put a golem above him, and he's okay. And Stargen, wow, just goes for the golem crit. Fair enough, I guess just wants to deal with that knight. And yeah, you just pop your own golem up above Greenfinger here. Oh, actually just goes for the hit on the stronghold, and this might very well be game next turn. I don't think Saykoya can really do anything here. Alright. Nice merfolk crit. Greenfinger is in a river tile, so that's going to do a lot of damage. Alright, Knight actually manages to take out a golem, but
I'm here to help.
I don't know if that was enough. I mean, actually, you've got like a couple big merfolk hits here as well. Greenfinger could get pretty low. Mage crit is good damage. But I don't know if that's enough. I think like Golem crit for like 36% plus Golem hit is going to finish this off. Alright, Wild Growth comes out. Just going to put up a bunch of defensive vines. And that could very well be game. Oh, didn't go for the Mage Hill first. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Because yeah, that if that had been a bigger crit, that would have been the end of the game right there. But I don't actually know if there's anything Saykoya can do here. I mean, you can kind of like chip away at these. You know, Mage is going to do that. Knights are going to kind of slowly break through. Mercia gets in. Okay. But he did a lot of damage to this golem. 25%. On the first hit. Second one comes in. Third one. 55%. Okay. Knight comes in. Hits Greenfinger. And these units down here didn't do anything that turn. Like, they could have actually been sweeping up and doing some damage if they'd had time. But, yeah, I don't know. I think maybe even just a Mage Heal. Or double Mage Heal. Yeah, double Mage Heal is going to do the trick. And yeah, like a 95% Golem. Yeah, that's going to deal with that stronghold. And Stargen takes game number 3 over Saykoya. Both players maybe being like, maybe 30 seconds wasn't the best idea, but that was a fun game. Saykoya definitely on the ropes for a lot of it, but had to make Stargen work for it as well. And I don't quite know if the plan for Mercia with Healing Groove with a big Golem force was the play here. Just kind of like took a long time to set up, and Stargen was able to just kind of like take the south side as well, while the Golems were up in the north. But that was a fun game. I had a good time doing commentary for that. And I guess we could look at the post-game stats. Let's give these a quick refresh, so we can take a look and see. You look at that combat unit count. Very much in favor of Greenfinger from turn 9, which I guess is when the first groove happens. Yeah. End of turn 8. So, yeah, once those vines come out, Greenfinger's just going to stay up much higher on unit count. And income average, what a straight line there from Greenfinger at the end, just sitting on 1,000. And then, like, Saykoya slowly losing money over the course of the game. So, yeah, well played.